Hello all, welcome to the SMS controlled Pentest bot hacker project. Now in this video, we are going to go ahead and test our cellular modem. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing of course is to make sure that our modem is connected. So let's do that. Now here is our Nova modem. And here is the SIM card which we activated in the previous video. Now the direction in which the SIM card is actually put inside is very important, and this is the right direction, so you can take a look. Let me go ahead and put that in. Okay, so there we go. So now that the SIM card and everything is inside, let's actually connect it to the Raspberry Pi. Now, what initially happens is that you'll see the power up light come up, and after that the modem should automatically connect with the network. And if you see the blue light flickering, that actually means that it's connected to the network and data transfer is possible. Now, do not panic if the blue light doesn't flicker. For our purpose, you might still be able to send SMSs. So let's go back to the slides. Okay, so I am already logged in to my Raspberry Pi. And the first thing, of course, I want to do an LS USB to make sure that the modem is actually connected. Here it is, ublocks AG. And I'm also going to just run miniterm.py without any arguments, and this should show available modems. And we can clearly see that we are seeing a bunch of these, right? ublocks, 7 of them. Now, if you go through the documentation on the ublocks website, what you would find is that this modem, of course, because it is a sophisticated one, it allows you to actually parallelize a lot of tasks. So some of these interfaces, you might only get GPS. Through others, you can send AT commands, through something else, just for data transfer. So this way, your application can go ahead, decide on which of these interfaces it wants to use and parallelize tasks effectively. Now, for our purpose, this is not going to be very important. And in this course, we are not going to directly talk to the modem. In one of the other hacker projects, which I've planned right after this, we will, and that's where we'll probably get into more detail of AT commands and responses and all that. Okay. So I'm going to hit a Control-C. I just wanted to show you that the modem is installed, has been detected, and these are the different interfaces available. Now, hologram, once we've kind of gone ahead and finished off all the installation, does provide us with an application called hologram. So if you just type in hologram, you'll actually see more arguments are required. Let's do a hologram-h. Now, this application allows us to do a lot of things like send SMSs, receive SMSs, create a PPP network connection. In reality, this is just a wrapper over a lot of the AT commands and chat scripts which are actually used to automate tasks with the modem. For our purpose, this actually makes things a little easy when we want to test stuff. So let's actually run some basic commands. I'm going to run hologram, and then I'm going to say modem and -h to see the options we have. So if you notice, we have a bunch of options. So let's use type first, then operator, and then signal strength. Of course, there are others, but let's start with these. So hologram, modem, so first type, then operator, and then signal. So type, oops, my type has a typo. Now, if you notice, this clearly says this is a hologram Nova U201 uBlocks modem. The operator we are connected to right now is T-Mobile. Now, depending on which country you're in and which cellular networks hologram has tie-ups with, you might see a different operator. And then after that, you can look at the signal strength, typing in signal. Now in the next video, hacker project, when we talk about working with the modem directly, I'll explain what these two numbers mean. As of now, this kind of shows that the signal strength is pretty good, pretty okay to work with. Cool. So this is the modem command, some of the basic ones. Now, if you go back once again to the -H option, what you'll actually see is there is also a connect and a disconnect. Now keep in mind the hologram Nova modem along with the data SIM can do a lot many more things apart from sending SMSs, right? So ideally it is to have a full-blown data connection where messages are being sent by an IoT device like MQTT, etc. It's receiving messages. In some cases, you may also want to have an always-on internet connection and all of that. So if we wanted to have a PPP connection to the internet through the modem, we would do a connect, and that would establish a cellular connection and allow us to send data over it. So let's do the following. I am connected to my Wi-Fi interface. So I'm going to bring that down momentarily. Config WLAN 0 down. And now let's actually try to ping google.com. And if you notice, of course, it doesn't work. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to connect my modem to the internet using hologram modem connect. And this may take a couple of seconds to up to a minute while all the connections are being established, the PPP daemon is being started, so that we can have connectivity to the internet. Here we go. So if you do an if config, you would actually see a PPP0 is there with an IP address, and we should be able to ping google.com. There you go, the DNS resolution has happened. Of course, the time is quite high, but as you can imagine, first is I am currently in a place where probably connectivity isn't that great. Second, of course, depends on a lot many more things. Now, a huge word of caution. If you're running a Raspberry Pi and a lot of other background things are happening like updates, etc., and if you only have the PPP connection running, you're probably using up a massive amount of data, which is costly. So be very, very careful when you have a PPP running all the time. I'm going to disconnect right now so that, there you go. I'll bring back my Wi-Fi connection in case I need to be on the internet. So I showed you just for illustration purposes that with a Raspberry Pi and with this modem, you can have always on internet connectivity. Of course, you can even go ahead and configure all of this on demand using Python APIs. So you can start a network connection, send data, stop the network connection again, go back to sleep, figure out what kind of telemetry data you want to collect it, again, switch on, the modem connect, and then send the data, again, switch yourself off. So by this, you kind of ensure that, you are sending data, but you're also regulating the amount of data you're sending to make sure you don't exceed your quotas. So that's an important point. Now for our hacker project, which is kind of aptly named SMS controlled bot, we are only going to be using SMSs. So let's actually learn how we can send an SMS. So I'm going to first make sure that I have my mobile phone here along with me. me just quickly configure it. There you go. Okay, so hologram send, if we do a -H, will give you a bunch of options. Now it will allow you to send messages using the cloud, using SMS and whatnot. So I'm actually going to be using SMS to send out SMSs. So I'm going to do a send. Then I'm going to say, well, I'd like to send an SMS. Let this be hello world. Then something absolutely random. Now the destination address is going to be important. This is going to be the phone number where the SMS would be sent. And you will have to use the plus followed by the country code and then the phone number. And then when you try to run it, you'll actually see that it gives you a little error which says device key required. Now, the device key is actually available through your hologram portal. So if you go to your hologram portal and navigate to your device and then go to configuration, you will be able to see an option here for a device key. If you click on that, you can generate a new device key and copy it. I'm going to be using the one which I have already created. So let me just pause the video here briefly so I can copy my key out. Okay, I've copied the device key, and all I have to do is go back and then include the device key, paste it, then hit an enter. This should take a couple of seconds. Again, it just depends on how good your mobile network is. If you notice, it says message sent successfully. So let me open up my phone so that you guys can see this clearly. Okay, there you go. Phone does look pretty good on the screen. Great. So now what I'm going to do is, let me actually go ahead and send something else while I keep my phone running here. Go back. And let me do a Control-L, go back here and say, hello world, second demo. And I've hit an enter. Let me jump back here so you can actually see the message come in live. There you go. Right, fantastic. So this is how we can actually send messages using hologram, and I can see how easy it is. Now currently I'm actually sending these messages using the utility. In the next video, of course, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to send messages and receive messages using Python scripts. Now, similarly, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to receive a message. So for receive, an SMS, if you notice, you just have to do receive and then just let it do its thing. So I'm going to go ahead, click on this. Let's see. So what was required was a dash. So this will now start receiving messages. Now keep in mind, if you've already sent messages in between and there is something in the cache, those will also be displayed. Okay, so now from my phone, let me actually go ahead and type in a message. Awesome. My bot is alive. Okay, so here is the message. Let me go back in here. My bot is alive after struggling with autocorrect. Sent it. Go back here and let's wait for the message now. Now, receiving of message, once again, SMS isn't probably the most reliable of communication, and you know that, right? So a lot of times you may see SMSs might get missed or skipped, or it might take more time to deliver. Just so you know, during my tests, works perfectly most of the time, but does happen. And there you are. Awesome, my bot is alive. Fantastic. So we can clearly see now how easy it is to send, receive SMSs, even create a data connection if you wanted to using Hologram's tool and their data SIM card. So this is fantastic. Let me hit a Control C. Go back to the slides. So this is all I had in mind for this video. In the next video, we will look at how to send and receive SMSs using Python scripts so that we kind of inch forward towards automating and creating our own SMS controlled bot. That's all for this video. Thank you.